Alright, so even before you start your speedrun attempt, you're going to have to complete one game of normal mansion to unlock the hidden mansion, which is basically the new game plus. So, yeah, what that does is it makes your vacuum 1.5 times stronger. So that, in turn, that allows you to suck up the ghost quicker. Gonna watch episode 131 of DBS. Nice. Alright, so we're here on the main menu. Timer starts when you hit the A button. So we're gonna go on ahead and get started here. So I start my timer. Gonna press A here. Now again, you need to beat normal mansion one time because you will unlock this mode here, the hidden mansion. So you're gonna go on ahead and click that, press A, and a little cutscene will play here. Just mash A to skip it. Alright, so you spawn in here. You've got two staircases, one on the right, one on the left. We're gonna want to go up the left one here. Alright, so we reach up here, and there's a double door right here. So what we want to do is we want to go through the left door. Now, the reason being is because Luigi pushes open the left door rather than pulls it open. So if I went through the right door, he would pull it open here. But that's slow. What this does is that loses a second. So we always want to go to the left side of the double door because he will push it open rather than pull it, and we'll save a second. Alright, so we've done that. Now we're just going to pull out our vacuum, move up with the C stick, and blow out these candles. Now a little 45-second cutscene will play here. About 40 to 45 at least. Yeah, I'm not going to show off map glitch just due to the fact that there's already a couple tutorials on that. So I'm purposefully excluding that. Alright, so now the ghost spawns. We're going to immediately turn around and capture this guy. Now, something that most runners do is they'll spin in a circle and wait for the ghost to spawn. So, again, to catch the ghost, you just want to pull back in the opposite direction of them. And, yeah, that's the most optimal method to catching them. And when you capture the ghost, you want to be as close to the chest as possible so you can open it right when the room lights up. And then we're going to get the key. So again, like, typically a minimap would pop up here, but we did the minimap glitch to disable it, so that's not popping up. So this key leads right to this door. You just mash A and you skip the cutscene of Luigi opening it. So I'm going to spin in a circle, wait for this guy to spawn, pull back, and we capture him. Alright, now I'm going to set myself up for a double here. So I typically tend to stand like right here, so when they spawn I can just move to the left and capture them. Just like that. Now I'm going to set myself up for another double here. Keep in mind where I'm standing. Oh, I actually missed that one. Don't be like me. You don't want to miss the doubles in this game. Alright, so there's no key to this door. We just open it and we move on. Alright, so right when we enter this room, I'm going to immediately go to the left wardrobe because I'm going to open that up, and at the same time a ghost behind me will spawn, and I'm going to capture that ghost, and then catch the ghost on the left. So, a lot just happened there. So after I caught the ghost on the left, I immediately lined myself up to the right side of the wardrobe because a garbage ghost spawned and a gold ghost spawned. Now what you can actually do with the garbage ghosts is you can push them without invincibility frames. So what I did there was I pushed that garbage ghost so he was lined up with the gold ghost and I could get a quick double there. Now I wish I could replay a lot of this stuff, but I can't. I just have to explain it as best as I can as I go on. So that's what happened there. Now I'm going to go to this other wardrobe right here. And I'm going to line up in the same spot on the right side. And I'm going to wait for him to spawn. Then when he does spawn, I'm going to push him, wait for the gold ghost to line up, and I'm going to get a quick capture. Now, a good indicator that you did that suck up really well is the garbage ghost will not spawn a banana peel. If it was a slow suck up, then the garbage ghost will spawn a banana peel. What does shaking the control stick do after you get the ghost? That basically allows me to catch the ghost faster because he goes into my vacuum quicker. So, you just want to like shake your control stick like that in the opposite direction of the ghost because he'll go into your vacuum quicker. But most runners don't do that, so I honestly would not recommend that to a new runner. That's just something that I have a force of habit of doing because it's a little bit quicker. Alright, so I'm going to line myself up like this. I'm going to pull my vacuum out, look up with my C-stick, and move back. Because that will allow me to catch this key at a straight angle, and it won't have any resistance, and I can capture it no problem. Alright, so now we're going to do a little bit of backtracking. I'm just going to walk back to the main room, the foyer. And again, we want to go out the left door here. Left door facing Luigi, obviously. So that would be this door. Because he pushes it open rather than pulls it. Alright, so when we go to the left here, we're going to get some EGAD text. So EGAD's basically going to tell us that we're about to encounter some more, or rather, some portrait ghosts. And these portrait ghosts are a lot different than your typical average ghosts that we were just fighting. Because there's only one of each portrait ghost, and each portrait ghost has their own unique characteristics and own unique personalities, and you capture them all in different ways. So what I'm going to do when I enter this room is I'm going to immediately turn my back to the right corner of the room. I'm going to pull out my vacuum and move back, and I'm going to have my back turned to this guy. Because this guy will show his heart when he yawns. So I need to face away from him and wait for him to show his heart. So let's do that now. Then he'll show his heart, and he has 100 health. He's not that bad. Just get him into a corner and you can capture him no problem. Now what he's dropping there are pearls. Those count towards the in-game currency. But since we're doing a no out of bounds tutorial, I don't need to really cover the pearls, since that's more of a 100% thing. But you saw when I captured him, I moved up closer to the chest so I could open the chest right when I cleared the room. Alright, so moving on here. Just gonna move to the far left side of the hall. I'm gonna open this door. Alright, so this room that I'm currently entering probably is the first or second laggiest room in the entire mansion, for some reason. So a lot of people don't know this, but you actually want to have your flashlight off when you're in this room because you're noticing it's pretty laggy with the flashlight on. But if you turn your flashlight off, you notice that the lag decreases. So you can see noticeable difference there. Alright, so when you enter this room, you're going to immediately come over here and pull back this curtain. Then you're going to turn around and she'll show her heart because apparently the wind triggers her. So I like to get her in this top right corner. I know some people who like to go to the bottom right here, but I personally prefer top right because I'm a lot closer to the chest, so I can open it a lot quicker. Alright, so we're almost coming to the end of Area 1 here. We're coming up on the Area 1 boss, so right when I exit this room, a little cutscene will play here. Alright, so right when I enter this room here, I'm gonna immediately go into my bottom left notch, and I'm gonna move my C-stick up top right, and press the R button, because what that will do is that will cause me to activate this little rocking horse here. And this starts the first phase of the Chauncey boss fight. Now, what I'm going to do immediately after is I'm going to move back, suck up this ball, and hit him with it. So I'm going to mash through this text, move back, suck up the ball, hit him in the face. So now we're just going to mash this text. He's going to shrink Luigi down to microscopic size. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but each area boss actually has their own unique arena that you fight them in. Chauncey's being his crib. Keep in mind, if you guys have any questions that you would like answered during this, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer it as best I can. Alright, so right when this fight starts, I'm immediately going to go to the right side. And then when the rocking horse strikes, I'm going to immediately go to the left side. Because that will cause the rocking horse to strike at me faster, ultimately speeding up this boss fight. So, I have control of Luigi. So, I'm going to move to the right. Gonna wait for the rocking horse to strike, and I'm gonna move out of the way. Now I'm gonna go left here, move out of the way of this one. Now typically, I would align myself up for a ball catch, but this ball catch is actually a little difficult to use. And since I'm doing a somewhat beginner tutorial, I'm actually not gonna do this ball catch. Instead, what I'm gonna show off here, I'm gonna move back a little bit, pull out my vacuum, move back. The third ball will come, and I'm gonna capture it. Now I'm going to hit Chauncey in the face. Alright, so, if you don't know, you can't actually one-cycle Chauncey. You have to two-cycle him. So the reason that I let him go at around 50 HP there is because if he dips below 50 HP, he's going to throw a third cycle of rocking horses at me. And that's about 3 seconds slower, so tend to get him around 50 HP. Just because if he dips below 50 HP, that'll happen. Alright, so I'm going to purposefully stand on the side here because Chauncey's going to move around, do this little belly flop thing. And he actually can't touch the side of the crib, so we can ultimately go unharmed here. And now basically the same thing as the first cycle. I'm going to move out of the way of these rocking horses right when they strike. And repeating the same ball catch here. Just going to move back a little bit. Wait for this third ball to come. I'm going to catch it and hit Chauncey. And split it. Alright, so that's area 1. Now this chest is going to spawn. We're going to do a little circle here, open the chest, grab the key. And that's area 1. So now EGAD's going to come over the mic and tell us that what we just fought was an area boss. And we're actually going to go back and put the portrait ghosts that we captured in the ghost portrificationizer. Turn them back into portraits. So due to that, we have a little bit of downtime here. About a minute. So we have time to just chill. Yo, what's going on, Josh? Welcome to the stream, man. You came in during the No Out of Bounds tutorial. Hope you're having a good day. So yeah, I won't be showing off a lot of advanced strats. Again, more of a beginner tutorial here. You see, some people get hit on the second cycle of the rocking horses. Is that on purpose? It is on purpose. The reason being is because what that does is that by taking damage, we get invincibility frames. So what that does is typically we wouldn't be able to catch the second ball without these invincibility frames, because if the ball came down, it would hit Luigi. But with these invincibility frames, we're able to catch it. Chilling on purpose. Alright, so after we put them back into their paintings here, I'm just going to mash A and B. And I'm not going to save. But if you're a beginner, you may want to save, because if you die, you're going to want to save state. Alright, so I selected Hidden Mansion there when I went back into EGAD's lab. And now we're ready to start Area 2. I'm in Sidestep for some reason. Interesting. So I guess I should go over these controls. The one on the left here is standard controls. You can move around only with your control stick. But Sidestep, you need both your control stick and C-stick to move around. So, standard's the way to go, the one on the left. Alright, so we're going to move on to Area 2. As you can see, I'm going to the left side, so I'm ready to open the left door when this barbed wire goes away. How did I not get gold frames on those two ghosts? Because you have to get the big pearl to get the gold frames. I didn't suck up the big pearl. Alright, so you might notice right off the bat, Area 2 is a lot bigger than Area 1. That's because there's going to be a lot more things that we need to do in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down this hallway. Now the reason that I'm looking up is because this prevents the ghosts that spawn on the ceiling from scaring me. Because as long as I have my flashlight on a ghost spawn point, they can't spawn. So you see when I move my flashlight down, let's see if I can get this guy to spawn. So like if I just walk down here, he didn't spawn. Alright, we'll try it here. See there. Luigi will get scared and I'll lose like a second, so always have your flashlight aimed up because these ghosts can't spawn and you'll ultimately save time. It looked like I went to the main mansion. No, I scrolled down. Because as you can see, there's a star in the bottom right. That's your indicator that you're on Hidden Mansion. If that star wasn't there, you'd be on Normal Mansion. Alright, so this room right here. We're going to come in here, and we're immediately going to walk over here, because two grabber ghosts are going to spawn. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to get grabbed by the one closest to me on purpose. And then I'm going to shake him off with my C-stick. And how I do this is I spin my C-stick in a circle like so. And I'm going to shake him off in the opposite direction of me, which should be aligned with the second ghost, and I can get a quick double. So I'll show that off now. So I'm going to get grabbed, I'm going to shake him off, and I'm going to get a double. Petunia. Yeah, dude. It's like the same bathroom layout as the one that Petunia's in. Alright, so I'm going to turn around, look up, and grab this key. Alright, so we're now moving to probably, in my opinion, one of the worst rooms in the mansion, the ballroom. So I'm gonna try to show this off like as beginner friendly as I possibly can. So I'm gonna enter this room. I'm gonna move down, and the shy guys will spawn. And yeah, I'll just like show it off. You can't really explain this part well, in my opinion. So I'm gonna move down. I'm gonna turn around. Grab their masks. Alright, you know what? That was a bad showing. Also, if you leave the room and go away far enough, the room will reset. So let's try that again. Alright, so move down, turn around, suck off their masks. And there's 3 sets of doubles in this room. You just need to be as close to them as possible, so you don't have a hard time taking their masks off. I'll show that off again for those of you that missed it. Alright, so move down, turn around, vacuum out. Get a quick double. Again, staying as close to them as possible so I can have an easier time pulling their masks off. And you may have to do a little bit of adjusting to make the double work so you don't miss it. So you saw for that third one there that I had to move to the right a little bit so I didn't miss that double. So showing it off one more time. Alright, I missed it. He was too far away, so I couldn't get the double. Yeah, rip PB, dude. Alright, just like that. And now we are coming up to the first bit of RNG in the run, but I'm assuming that you're a fairly new runner of this game, or you've yet to learn it. Alright, I'm jumbling my words here. So, this RNG should not matter at all to you unless you're a very skilled runner of this game. But anyways, I'll explain it. So, some dancing ghosts are about to pop up, and they can show their hearts 10 seconds early, which is known as early release, or they can show it 10 seconds later, which is bad RNG. But to get them to show this heart, a lot of people actually don't know this, but you need to be on this left platform for them to show their hearts. So we'll see if we can get the early release. Alright, we got it. Again, that's completely random. It's not in your control at all. It's just up to them whether or not they want to show their hearts. So we suck them up, get as close to the chest as possible, and we grab the key. Do I think Lydia has a tender? No way. I think Melody does. Alright, so this key unlocks this room here, the storage room. So I'm going to open this door. I'm going to come over here, spin in a circle. Alright, so when I suck this guy up, I'm going to immediately get in the top left corner of this room because I'm about to execute a trick known as poster skip. And I need to be practically hugging the top left corner of this room because I need to have a straight angle in order to pull the poster off of the wall. So I'll show that off now. So I get in the top left corner, I move my control stick left, I'm practically walking into the left wall, and I'm going to have my vacuum out, I'm going to flick up on the C-stick. I actually missed it, hang on. Alright, I need to go 2 rooms away here. That's shocking. So again, just keep that in mind. Get in the top left corner, move your control stick left, flick up on the C-stick, and an indicator that you got the poster is Luigi will start running in place. So that's how you know that you've gotten it. So just like so. See, he's running in place, and then you'll hear that pop, meaning that I sucked it up. Now I'm going to do a quick double here. I don't really know of a good beginner way to get this double. It's a pretty hard double, so just like hug this wall, move down. And I guess that's the easiest way. So now you'll notice here in the mirror, there's a button on the 4th wall. It says don't push, but us being curious, we're going to push it anyways. And that will cause this wall to move back, and you'll notice there's no poster on that button. There originally was, but we sucked it off through the wall. Alright, so pressing this button, we have now released all 50 boos throughout the mansion. And you'll notice King Boo there with his crown in all his glory. And now EGAD's going to come up on the Game Boy Horde, basically telling us that we're idiots and I didn't split. You were supposed to split when you pressed that button. But yeah, EGAD's going to tell us that we're very stupid because we pressed that button. And now we have the task of catching all boos throughout the mansion. So now he's going to tell us how the radar on the Game Boy Horde works. Basically, the radar on the Game Boy Horde will detect anything round. So a boo ball, a boo bomb. And you'll know that you're close to that object when it starts blinking yellow really fast or if it turns red. So again, hidden mansion here. Skip this cutscene. And we're going to go up the left staircase here. Do a little bit of backtracking, because we need to capture 5 boos in order to proceed on with the next part of the game. Go through the left door. I'm not going to show off the tech skip. It's kind of an intermediate strat. So, there's 2 objects in each room. Again, you got the decoy, which could either be a boo bomb or a boo ball, and you've got the actual boo. So you see here, as I get closer to the boo, it starts blinking. And what he just did there was he switched. The boos in this game can switch if you haven't found them in, like, a span of a minute. So he moved down here. It's blinking red, so we know he's in here. Alright. So this strat that I just did, that's called R pumping. So basically what that does is it allows us to keep the boos in place for 15 cackles. But that boo, we didn't use all his cackles just because he had 30 health. So how you R pump is you hold down the L button here and tap the R button. You want to tap that every 10 HP because that will allow us to keep the boo stun locked. And 10 HP is the most optimal. Any quicker, like so, will cause the boo to leave the room very quickly. Alright, so moving on here, the boo in this room can only be in these 3 cabinets here. So I spawn him, I'm holding down L, and I'm tapping the R trigger, like so. And after every boo you catch, EGAD will pop up. He always has something to say. Again, if you're a beginner runner, I would recommend saving. But, again, intermediate top players would not save. So the boo's right there. Good. Again, R pumping. And I'm going to mirror warp here. The mirror warp is basically a fast travel to get back to the foyer. So I'm going to pull out my Game Boy Horror, and I'm going to press A on the mirror. And now we'll teleport back to the foyer. Then I just press B to cancel out of this. Go through the left door. Gonna come in here to the storage room. Now this boo can only be in these boxes, so gonna spawn him. Ooh. Alright, so it took me a little while to get locked onto that boo there. That was interesting. And we know the boo is probably in these chairs because the radar was blinking fast there. Alright, so now that we have 5 boos, we're able to proceed on with the next part of the game. Where we're gonna go next is the bathroom. So, we needed to capture 5 boos because the bathroom was originally locked, but for some reason after you capture 5 boos, Toad decides to unlock it. So we're able to come in here, open this toilet, grab this key. I'm gonna turn around, pull out my Game Boy Horror, move up with my C-stick, and scan the mirror to mirror warp back to the foyer. Yeah, dude, Luigi has to take a shit. Alright, so we're gonna completely ignore this room here because we need to find 5 of Mario's items. We get all of them in Area 3. I believe we only get 1 item in Area 2, so we're gonna come back to this room later. But we need to come in here because there are gonna be some grabber ghosts that spawn. And unlike anything we've seen yet, they're only going to be able to spawn in the mirror. So we'll only be able to see them in the mirror. They won't be in the foreground. So the mirror is going to be your visual cue here. So you can see him in the mirror, so I'm going to turn around, grab him. Same with this guy. Now I'm just going to line myself up on this wall here. Shake him off like before, and then we catch him. Same thing, there's another double. And just like that. Basically just like the bathroom grabber double that I showed off earlier in the run. Now, typically you would see more intermediate runners catch the boo and grab the fire medallion so we can skip the text. But again, due to this being a very beginner-friendly tutorial, I would not advise that. Just grab the medallion and just scroll through the text. It's only about 6 seconds. Obviously nothing too big for a beginning runner of this game. So something that I didn't explain, I'm mashing the text with the A and the B button, so I'm using both of my thumbs. That's the most optimal method to going through this text fast. Alright, so now we have the fire medallion. So we're able to grab fire. So now I have that at my disposal. You activate that by pressing the L button. So I also lit these candles because we have to light these candles in order to get out of this room. Because as you can see, there's some barbed wire on the door here. Just light all 6 candles, and the barbed wire will go away. So now we're gonna light the candles in here to spawn a key. So I grabbed the key. And now we're onward. So what I just did there was a flashlight skip. I'll actually explain that in a few minutes once we get done with the Butler room. So now we need to light the Butler's candles. Can't you mirror warp out of that room? No, you can't. That mirror actually does not work. For some reason. So the Butler is gonna come to his room, but during that time, we have just enough time to clear the laundry room here. So when you enter this room, you're immediately going to want to come over here, open that, and spawn Mario's hat. Now I'd recommend right after you suck up that first ghost to grab his hat. Chest skip is more of an intermediate thing to go for. So you're going to capture this ghost. Now I typically go for a double here, but I'm not going to go for that. So just come to the right here, catch this ghost, go to the left, get this ghost. And if you have enough time, open this chest. Butler will sit down, and we capture him. Now you don't want to waste time clearing that room, because the Butler will disappear after a few seconds of him sitting down and showing his heart, and he'll go back out into the hallway. So, if you mess up in this laundry room here, don't worry about it. Just come in this room, and then clear it after you've caught the Butler. Alright, so after you caught him, you're going to want to pull out your Game Boy Horror and activate this mouse hole. Get the key. And now we're going to spawn the Boo. Alright, now what I'm about to do here is a JP only trick. I go in the mouse hole as the Boo's entering my vacuum, and that will allow me to skip the Boo's text. But if you're playing on English, the Boo's text will still pop up. So this is one of the many perks of playing on JP, because you get to skip this text. Alright, so now you're in here. Right when you gain control of Luigi, pull out your Game Boy Horror, activate this mouse hole, press B, and now you're going to burn these guys because they have an elemental barrier on them, so you have to burn them before, and sidestep again, before you can suck them up. So I'm going to burn them, I'm going to come to the left here and capture them. Avoid getting hit by those bats, by the way. Very crucial to do. Alright, so I'm going to spawn this Boo. And we're gone. Alright, so now we're going to get this guy. And I guess now I'll talk about flashlight skips. So, when you're exiting from a lit room to a dark room, there's like a little second animation that plays of Luigi pulling out his vacuum, or flashlight rather. I'll show that off here. So you see that. It takes time before you can start moving, so he's got to pull it out before you can start moving. But you can actually skip this animation by spraying your element. By pressing the L button. So you want to spray that right before he pulls it out. So like this. Just like that. So we skip that animation entirely. just like that. Alright, so anyways, that's flashlight skip. Can I do an out of bounds run? No, I don't think so. Not right now. I want to focus more on no out of bounds. Alright, so we're going to come in here and activate every instrument, because this portrait ghost won't spawn unless you activate every instrument in this room. So we're just going to do that really quickly. You activate them by tapping them with the A button. Then you move over to the piano, and Melody, the pianist, will spawn. Just going to mash through some text here. Now she will play 2 songs. One being the underwater theme, and the other being the Super Mario Bros. 3 theme, which is what she's playing currently. So, the water theme will always be the first option, and the Mario Bros. 3 theme will always be the third option. So she played the Mario Bros. 3 theme, so we're going to scroll down and select that one. Now she's going to spawn some music notes, going to suck these up really quick, or burn them, whichever you prefer. Now she'll get pissed off, and we suck her up like that. So again, same thing, spawning the Boo. I'm going to try to grab the key at the same time, didn't exactly make it. You can grab the key at the same time that you suck up the ghost sometimes. I don't think it saves time, but it's pretty cool. Alright, so... Also, I didn't split on Firewarp. God, I'm missing a lot of these splits. I'm sorry. Ugh. Alright, so... Now we are coming up to the second element, the water element. So you're going to want to open this fridge, wait for a ghost to spawn. He has an elemental barrier, so we're going to burn that off really quick. Open the chest. Boom. Water element. Alright, Boos can hide under cloths, by the way. So again, we're just gonna put the fire out on that door with the water so we can access it. So to spawn a Boo under a cloth, you just pull the cloth off and he'll spawn. It won't actually work if you shake that object. Alright, so coming out here, Spooky the dog. Be cautious of when he's gonna strike because you need to move out of the way. So I'm going to avoid him twice, and on the third time I'm actually going to get hit. Because that will cause Mr. Bones to spawn a few seconds early. Rather than if you don't get hit. So we get hit on the third cycle there on purpose. Then Spooky will become distracted. He'll start licking this bone. And he'll show his heart. Now we're going to pull out our Game Boy Horror, activate this doghouse, and go through. Now, to activate the ghost here in this graveyard, you just need to knock on this gravestone. I prefer watering the skeleton and waiting for the skeleton on the right to line up with him. That's probably the most consistent method, in my opinion. Then we're just going to catch that third guy. And now, we're going to fight the Area 2 boss. Bogmire. This guy is probably a lot of people's favorite portrait ghost. So again, this game has a lot of downtime, really. It's pretty interesting. So I'm just going to suck up his shadow, hit him with it. And you can actually one-cycle this guy. If you see that Bogmire is starting to take control, what you can do is you can just hold back on your control stick in the opposite direction of where he is, and wait until you take control of the fight. Very consistent. Alright, so we're done with Area 2, and this is probably where I'll start speeding up things a bit, because I've basically already covered all the basics. Alright, I get it. You like melody. Yeah, I think the Boo-Losses fight is very cool. But it's not fun when you mess up, obviously. Alright, so again, I'm gonna start speeding things up here. Again, all the basics have been covered. You should know what to do by this point. Just go to Hidden Mansion. Left door. You already know. And after each area, the hallway does light up, so that's why it's lit in here now. It's lit. Alright, so I'm immediately gonna grab the water element here. I'm gonna spray it so I can skip the animation of going down this ladder. Here, I'll show this off. If you have your vacuum out, you just skip the entire animation of going down this ladder, as you can see. The difference is substantial, so have your vacuum out there because you don't want to waste time going down the ladder. So we're gonna come over here and trigger this cutscene. Oh boy, look who it is. Our boy Mario. It's your boy. Alright, so capture this ghost, and he'll spawn a key. Gonna go up this ladder, knock on this mailbox, because this is the second of the 5 Mario items that we need to take to the fortune teller at the end of Area 3. Also, I don't believe that I explained optional portrait ghosts. So there are 5 optional portrait ghosts in this game. This is the second one that we're encountering. The first one being the fat guy in the kitchen. So, yeah, again, them being optional, we don't need to capture them. The reward for capturing them is you just get a shit ton of money. But what we do need from this room is the key that we get by running on this treadmill. It's pretty neat. This key is optional, but it cuts off, like, probably over a minute of walking. So this key is definitely worth getting. So run on the treadmill and get the key. So what this key does is it creates a path between Area 3 and 2. So that's what this leads to. So we don't have to go through the courtyard every time we want to get to Area 3. So when I exit this room, I'm immediately going to turn around, aim my C-stick up, and hold down the L button. Because what this does is that puts out the fire on this door. Typically this door would be on fire, but with the hitbox being so large, we can actually shoot it from a level under. It's very weird, but hey, we take those time saves. Alright, so coming in here, what I would recommend a beginner to do is just stay down here, wait for this ghost to spawn, and capture him, and then come up here. the faster strat would be to capture him while on the ceiling. So now we're gonna get this guy. And this is the third and final element, ice. Just gonna capture that really quick. Ice is probably the most useful element of the three, because it allows you to keep boos in place if you spray them with it. So I'm just gonna get the ice element really quick. And spawn the boo, wherever he may be. So you'll notice if I spray him with the ice, he just stays in place for a short time. Pretty neat if you need to open a chest or something, you can just keep him in place. Alright, so we're gonna come in here. We're gonna pull back the shower curtain. We're gonna spray this pig-looking lady with ice. And then she'll show her heart, basically. And then we just suck her up like that. There's no boo in this room. This is just a random portrait ghost. I don't know why they put her in the game. But this key unlocks the billiards room. We don't need anything from the billiards room. We just need to go to the projector room. So we're gonna cross over into the billiards room. Alright, so exiting this room, I'm gonna flashlight skip and come across the hall. Now, this portrait ghost in particular can be a pain, mainly because of these yarn balls. So, I'm gonna knock on this table, the yarn balls will fall, and I'm just gonna hit her 3 times with them. To prevent getting hit by the yarn balls, just keep your distance and let them come to you. Oh, what was that? So you hit her 3 times, get her in this bottom left corner. Come over here, grab the key, and now we'll look for the boo. Oh, he moved. Again, that's one of the many instances that boos control you in this game. They can switch locations. So we're now starting to encounter boos with higher amounts of HP. So get ready to be seeing a lot of 100 HP boos. Alright, so we're coming up on the Astral Hall, so we're going to grab fire from this candle right here. Because we need it to light the candles in this room. Alright. So now a little cutscene's gonna play. Now, this double right here, it's not too hard to perform. What you want to do is you just want to spawn both ghosts, move to the left, move to the right a little bit so that gold ghost can get behind the candle there. But if you don't know how to do that, what I would recommend doing is just getting singles here. I'd recommend getting the gold ghost first and then getting the shy guy. Now a triple's gonna spawn. Get the grabber ghost first because that will cause the shy guys to align themselves. And you can get a quick double. That double's free, so you shouldn't miss that. Here's our boy Stay Hydrated bot. I do have water on hand, so we're in there. Alright, now we're coming up to probably the best part of the game, Moonshot. This is a lot of people's favorite part. Alright, so we just need to come over here and catch one of these comets and aim it at the moon. Like, the angle for this makes no sense whatsoever. You just have to get a feel for it and hope that you get it. So we struck the moon there. Is there a consistent way to hit the moon? Nah, you just like really gotta get a feel for it. It makes no sense at all. It's just something that you're gonna have to get used to. Because if it makes sense that you're gonna hit it, you won't hit it. It makes no sense at all. Alright, so that's the third Mario item. We need to get 2 more. So now we're going to do a little bit of backtrack into Area 2. So again, that key that we got by running on the treadmill, that cuts off a big walking distance, so we can just come through this door. Alright, so we're going to come in this door right here, the billiards room. This guy is optional, third optional portrait ghost, so we do not need to capture him. What we do need to do, though, is come in this door, the projector room. Now, how you get the ghost to spawn is you need to knock on this projector right here. But keep in mind, you have to knock on the side of it, because if you knock on the front of it, for some reason it won't activate. The hitbox is on the side of it, so just come to the side here, knock on it, and it'll activate. And like the mirror room, you can't see these guys in the foreground, but it's actually a little bit more difficult this time because you can't see the ghosts themselves. You can only see their shadows in the projector, as you can see. So we're just going to capture this guy. Same with this guy. Now I'm going to line myself up for a double here. Just stand in the middle of the room on this line. Move up, shake this guy off with your C-stick, and you got an easy double there. Same thing, stand in the center of the room here. I like to move down, then move up, so I can get these guys aligned, shake him off, and there you got a triple. Move over here to the chest, open it. Now, if the Boo's in the projector, you actually have to shake it with your vacuum. You can't just knock on it to spawn, and for some reason you have to use your vacuum. So keep that in mind. Alright, so now we're going to use the mirror to go back to the foyer, because we're going to be going back to Area 1, do a little bit of backtracking, because we have to catch the twins. So while doing this, we're actually going to get the Boos that we previously didn't get here. It's a lot more of a convenient time to get them now, since we do have to come and fight the twins. So we're going to start with Neville's room here. Look for this Boo. I actually got the worst luck. He's down here. That's fine, though. Luck does not matter for a beginning runner. It's all about skill. You don't need to start worrying about luck until you get like a 1 hour time. Luck shouldn't even be a factor in your run. Also, keep in mind, after you capture 15 Boos, the text that EGAD shows you is random, so the text can range from 1 second to 8 seconds. So that's something to note after you capture the 15th Boo. So always hope for short text there. Alright, so coming up to the twins here. Gonna need to shake their helicopter mobile with my vacuum, so I'm just gonna move in a circle there so they spawn. Yo, T-Drain, what is up, my dude? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Just doing a tutorial here. How do you suck up the white flying ghost so fast? Good question. So they're gonna ask to play hide and seek. You obviously want to say yes to continue on with the run. Then you're gonna want to exit the room so they can hide really quick. Then you're gonna come back in here and there's gonna be 5 boxes. I'm sure when you were a kid you thought that this was completely random. But there's actually a way you can cheat the system here by using your vacuum. So if you use your vacuum and it does not shake, they're not in there. If it does shake, like this, then they're in there. So we know he's in here because it shook. And I believe that the one in the top left shook as well. Yep, so he's in here. What am I going to do max percent? Over spring break. My spring break starts April 1st. So it'll be during that time. Alright, so now they're going to get hella triggered because we found them. They're going to say we cheated, which we sort of did. So one's in a car, one's in a plane. Something pretty neat here is these guys are actually a reference to two very interesting inventors. The one on the car is named Henry. He's named after Henry Ford. The one on the plane is named Orville after Orville Wright, one of the Wright brothers. So since there's two, the one on the plane has the pearls. But I always recommend getting the one on the car first because he's more of a threat if you get the one on the car first. So definitely get the one on the car first. Yeah, I'm also going to do rank percent. That's something also. Also, I don't believe that I covered the colors of the chest in this game. A lot of people actually don't know this, but all red chests contain Mario items. All blue chests contain keys. All green chests contain money. And all gold chests contain area keys. If I lost a Boo, should I restart the run? No, of course not. You never want to reset over a missed Boo, unless you're a skilled player of this game. So if you lose a Boo, just suck it up, go find him, or get a backup Boo, whichever works. I didn't split on Moonshot either, dude. I keep missing these splits. I apologize. Alright, so I'm actually going to show off the tech skip here. I didn't show off the first one because it's a little difficult, but just grab the cloth here, and you want to suck it up about halfway off. You don't want to suck it like... Yo, Dragon, thanks for the follow, dude. I appreciate that. But yeah, suck it off halfway because it'll make getting the tech skip a lot easier. So I'm going to spawn the Boo. I'm going to catch him, and I'm going to move back. And I'm going to catch him at the same time, and I'm going to suck up the cloth. By doing this, by sucking up the cloth, that actually overwrites the EGAD text, so it skips it entirely. Now you can only do this with a cloth, it doesn't work with anything else. Alright, so since we have all the Boos in this hallway, I'm going to mirror warp. It's actually faster than walking all the way to the foyer, so mirror warp is the most optimal thing to do. And now that we have all 5 of Mario's items, we're going to take them to the fortune teller. An area that we were at in Area 2. So just have your flashlight on her orb here. And she'll spawn. Yo, Ashton with the follow, thank you so much. Now you can talk to her at the front of the table or on either side. So this is just like a straight minute and a half of mashing, so there's literally nothing to talk about here. All you do is mash. So I'm actually going to speed this up here. I'm going to pull the controller away, just so we can get through this as fast as possible. Are we at 1,300 follows yet? I wonder. One more follow, and we're at 1,300. Who wants to be the 1,300th follow? Who's it gonna be? So this portrait ghost is actually one of the... I think it's the only friendliest portrait ghost in the entire game. She willingly lets Luigi suck her up, so She's gonna have no force to her whatsoever when we suck her up. No, don't do that, T-Drain. Then I won't be at the bottom of your follow list anymore. Feels bad. Well, you wouldn't officially be the 1300th follow, because it wouldn't pop up on screen. So again, she willingly lets us suck her up. I prefer to use the C-stick for this boss fight, just because that makes it easier than the control stick. Alright, so spawn this Boo. And get the key. Alright, so moving on. It's almost time for the Area 3 boss, Boo-ossus. Now, we need to stop and get ice for the Safari Room, because we need ice to counter the ghost elemental barriers in that room. Now, a lot of people always forget the ice, and I seriously, try not to forget the ice, because you're losing a minute if you forget the ice and you go all the way up to the Safari Room and realize that you don't have ice. We've all made that mistake. If you run this game, I guarantee you've made the mistake of forgetting ice. So just stop in there and get ice. Now we're gonna come over here and head up to the attic. Watch out for Dora the Exploder there. Oh god, that voice crack. But yeah, I don't know their official names, but we just call him Dora the Exploder. Shoutouts to Death Johnson for that nickname. No longer a runner of this game. Feels bad, man. Alright, so open this door to the Safari Room. Now, the ghosts in this room will not spawn until you activate the deer heads here on the wall. I don't know why you have to activate the deer heads, that's kind of a specific thing. But particularly the middle deer head. If you activate the one on the right, they won't spawn. If you activate the one on the left, they won't spawn. It's caused by the one in the middle. So we're gonna suck these guys up, countering their elemental barrier with ice. Now, if you're a new runner, I would not advise going for this double here that I typically tend to go for in my speedruns, because it is kind of a hard double to learn, so I wouldn't go for it. Just get the singles. I actually just missed both of them, that's kind of sad. Alright, there we go. Safari Room's clear.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So we're coming up to the Boo-ossus boss fight here, and keep in mind, you have to have at least 20 Boos before this fight. So if you miss, like if you lose a Boo and say, don't worry, I'll get it later, and you come up here, there's actually going to be a Boo standing guard at this door saying that they're too powerful and they're going to use their powers to prevent you from moving on. So you have to have 20 Boos before you're able to access this door. Kind of like the in the beginning of the run where we needed 5 Boos to unlock the bathroom. That's basically the same here. So I'm going to unlock this door, and I'm going to move to sidestep controls. Definitely not T-Drain with the follow. Damn. That's follow number 1300. Anyways, so go into sidestep and move over here to the left, up left, and you'll see a shitload of Boos here. And now we have to get ready to fight all of them. It's gonna be interesting. Drop your cocks and grab your socks. Let's do this. Somebody unfollowed. What the hell? I'm still at $12.99. This is bogus. Which one of you flatfoots unfollowed? Anyways, starting this boss fight, I'm gonna immediately go to the right side. So I'm gonna go to the right here, and I'm gonna move around this unicorn statue. So that'll make Boolossus easier to pop. I'm gonna grab this ice, I'm gonna line myself up on this line, with basically a straight angle with my vacuum. I'm gonna have it aimed down, and I'm going to move back. Now that's kind of difficult to explain, so you'll just have to watch me do it. So I'm gonna move back, I'm gonna aim my vacuum up, I'm gonna start spraying, and I'm gonna shoot the ice element. And just like that was a pretty good shot. So as long as you have a straight angle, and you're lined up on that line, this boss fight should be pretty easy for you. Alright, so Area 3 is done. There we go. There's one area left. Area 4. Now, we actually didn't use sidestep controls for that boss fight. What we will be using sidestep controls for is something coming up at the beginning of Area 4, the Blackout. I'll explain that more when we get to it here in a minute. Says 1300. Let's see. Alright, now we're at 1300, okay. I see it now. Am I gonna do a Bogmire key tutorial? Why would I do a Bogmire key tutorial? It's like, so arbitrary. You can do that. I'll take care of this. Unofficial Artemis with the follow. Isn't that your bot? I'm pretty sure that's your bot. That's funny. Alright, so we've already done this like 3 times. You know what to do. Just mash B past all of this. Hidden Mansion. There you go. You've done it many times already. Alright, so when you go through this door, be holding your R button because, or R trigger rather, because you won't have to go through the animation of Luigi pulling it out. So I'll show that off here. So you see you gotta waste time to pull it out. Alright, so yeah. Just have it already held when you go through this door. Now the reason being is because we're gonna get fire right here. So just get that fire element. And now we're gonna go up to where we beat Boolossus and trigger the Blackout cutscene. Nice, I'm now followed by Artemis's bot. I feel good. Alright, come through this door. This is where we were previously at the end of Area 3. So now you can see the balconies lit up. Alright, so the reason that we have sidestep controls enabled is because the Blackout is about to occur, and during this brief period, the ghosts will be wreaking havoc across the entire mansion. They will be spawning in every room. And like I said, as long as we have our flashlight on their spawn points, they can't spawn. You can actually get through this entire segment without a single ghost spawning. So that's what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna mash through this text, spray my element, and I'm looking straight ahead. So typically, there would be ghosts spawning all along this balcony, but again, I have my flashlight on their spawn points, so they can't spawn. So let's say I turn around here. You see all these guys spawning. Alright, so now we're going to be utilizing the mirror in the safari room here. Now this is a mirror that a lot of people did not know existed. Wow, I'm actually getting jumped here. This never happens. Alright, use the mirror. Will this be on YouTube? Yes, it will be. Alright, so we use that mirror to come back to the foyer. Because we need to get a portrait ghost, Uncle Grimly. He is located in the wardrobe room, rather. I was about to say mirror room. And just like the dancing ghost, whenever he shows his heart is random, but unlike the dancing ghost... Ooh, I actually got the best RNG there. Alright, so, just like the dancing ghost, it's random when he shows his heart, but the dancing ghosts have to show their hearts 10 seconds early or 10 seconds late. But for this guy, he can show his heart between 0 and 45 seconds. So it's a lot more random with this guy. And I actually just got the best luck here. That's very interesting. So you just need to turn your back to him, wait for him to show his heart typically. God, I'm talking so much I'm losing my voice. It's causing it to crack so much. I need to chill down with talking. Because whenever I talk for a long period of time, I start to lose my voice. Alright, so anyways, we have the key there. Now we're gonna go down to the basement and turn the power back on. So we needed this key to unlock this door because Grimly locked the room. Typically this room would be unlocked, but yeah, Grimly locked it right before the blackout, so it was locked. So we unlocked it with that key. So we're just gonna come over here and flip the breaker.
Oh yeah.
And there you go, power's back on. Now we're gonna skip getting the Boo in this room. We only need to get 40 for the no out of bounds category. So yeah, just skip this guy, because he has 200 HP. It's slow to get him. Didn't Blue Hits get a 45-second Grimly? He actually got a 40-second Grimly. Switchmaster got a 45-second Grimly. Controller's fuck because your button's bad. Rip. Alright, so that key we just got leads right across the hall here to the cellar. There's 2 ghosts in this room. This room is laggy as well, but not as laggy as Lydia's room, so... one of the ghosts being in this barrel right here. So you can actually shake it through this little cage here and spawn him. Move over a little bit and capture him. Now something that I like to do is, when I'm capturing that ghost, lean up against this, what is this, shelf, I guess? Because that will cause any objects in this shelf to spawn, and it will not intervene when trying to suck up the Boo in this room, because you'll be sucking up the Boo, like, practically in the middle of this cage, and if a heart spawns, Luigi will prioritize the heart over the Boo, and you will lock onto the Boo, and he will potentially leave. So again, just spawn all objects in this shelf, so it doesn't mess up you sucking up the Boo. And now spawning this ghost. Gonna move back here. And we're gonna get the chest. Now it looks like the Boo is actually in the middle here. Or the decoy. Let's see. Oh, they're both in here. Neat. Oh, he moved. Now he's in here. Alright, so you see he spawned right there. Just like that. So now we've caught that Boo. And now we're gonna do more backtracking to the top of the mansion once again, but this time we're gonna be proceeding through that door that we were going to go through before the blackout occurred. So the beginning part of Area 4 is just a lot of walking. So again, it's just like another chill part of the game. Back for real this time. Welcome back, Spire. Good to see you, man. We're nearing the end of the tutorial. We just have the rest of Area 4 to go. My YouTube channel is actually in the panels, or you can just do _YouTube. There you go. Also, while you're at it, feel free to join my Discord if you're not already in there. There's like 50 people in there. It's not very active, but yeah, you get a notification every time I go live. Yeah, HD Plays MC. I used to do Minecraft on that channel before. I did speedruns, and I was never able to change the URL. Also _Twitter. I think those are all the commands that I have. But anyways, moving on. You're gonna want to come through this right door here, the end of the hallway. Now this room is optional, we don't need to clean it. Your reward for clearing this room is just a chest full of money. And with this being the no out of bounds category, you don't need the money in here. Alright, so just like the twins, there's more than one portrait ghost that we have to capture here. There's 3. The one in the middle has the money. But again, no out of bounds, we don't need the money, so it doesn't matter which order you capture them in. And they have these little pump guns that they're going to try to hit you with. Just avoid those and you'll be fine. Alright, just like that. It's easy. And we're going to skip the Boo in this room due to it having 300 HP. And there are faster Boos that we get throughout the run. So we're going to access this elevator here. And go to the roof. Want to join my server? Why would I join your server? No, I'm just kidding. I'll join your server, why not? Alright, so now 6 Shy Guys are going to spawn. Typically, there used to be an old strat called the Boston Burn that we used to do, but it's actually faster just to burn them. I think a very optimal Boston Burn is still like a second faster, but you don't need that second if you're a new runner, that's for sure, so just burn them. Ooh, the fire element just cucked me there. Alright. The backup double. Follow me later on Twitter. Yo, thanks. Alright, so the key spawns up here on this left chimney.
Oh yeah.
And there we go, that's the roof key. Now to skip the animation of going down this ladder, similar to the well, just have out your vacuum. You'll skip that animation entirely. No more Boston Burn. I still go for Boston Burn because I like to save that second. But I wouldn't advise anyone else to go for it if you're not a top runner. Just go for the burn. Alright, so now we're coming up on probably the laggiest room in the entire mansion, the Armory. I'm gonna show off the beginner strat here, so how you spawn these ghosts is you need to hit these little suits of armor here. So to spawn this guy, you just come down, knock on this armor, and suck him up. Now when you suck him up, you're going to want to come over here, knock on this suit of armor, spawn this guy, burn him, knock on this one, burn them, knock on this one, get a double. I haven't done this strat in a long time. This is the beginner strat for the Armory room. It's a lot more consistent. I feel like I don't need to explain it because my movement is pretty self-explanatory, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
All you have to do is just watch and you know where they are.
Oh yeah.
Alright, now we're coming up on one of the hardest boos in this entire run. The Armory room boo. You have to get a perfect, all perfect 15 cackles. And not only that, this room is so laggy, making it for a much more difficult suck-up, so... Just gonna let him charge at me here. Gonna do my optimal R pumps every 10 HP to ensure that he doesn't get away. I'm gonna keep my distance, but while remaining close to him so he doesn't double cackle and leaves. Alright, so after this, I'm actually gonna purposefully save the game and reset the console, because it's faster than mirror warping. So I'm gonna load the file and go back into the hidden mansion. Now we're gonna go to the basement again and take care of some business down there. God, I've jumbled my words throughout this entire tutorial. I guess I'm just getting tired. Alright, so I'm gonna move these dust piles. I'm gonna come into this room here. Now, typically, an intermediate player and a top player would not clear this room, but if you're a beginning player, I would advise clearing this room, just because it'll make for a much easier time. So, yeah, I'd recommend capturing the ghosts in this room. You can move up to not clearing it at a later point once you get more consistent at the game. Alright, so you're gonna get the ice and freeze the scoop so you can walk along here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did get the stumble skip, you are correct. Alright, so by turning that valve, that gets rid of this waterfall, and you can come over here and get this key. Also, I'm sorry for, like, the bad controller cam. I haven't used this in a long time. I apologize. Hopefully, it's still clear enough. Alright, so, in my opinion, this is probably the hardest portrait ghost in the game, Sir Weston. Due to him having a slightly difficult pull and you slipping everywhere along this ice, and the icicles falling from the ceiling, that can be a hazard. So yeah, this guy is pretty tough. So right when I get done with this text, you're gonna want to burn his ice barrier immediately, because he will start throwing little ice shots at you. So yeah, right when you get done with this text, start burning him. Because we want to burn him right before he starts throwing those little icicles at us. You see there, he was close. Now we start sucking him up. He's pretty easy on Hidden Mansion, but he's almost impossible to one cycle on a normal mansion. You'll be very lucky to get a one cycle on this guy in normal mansion. Alright, so this boo also has 150 HP, but I think that this boo is a lot easier, in my personal opinion, due to this room not having lag in it. So again, we need to get all perfect 15 cackles so he doesn't leave. Just like that. And again, I'm actually going to save because it's faster than walking up all the way to the foyer. So just save. And you'll respawn back up here. Again, have your vacuum out here so you can get fire. I've already said this once, but you want to hold it while going through that door so you don't have to go through the animation of Luigi pulling out his vacuum. You can save that little quick second there. Yeah, Gay Weston, that's right. Hashtag legalize Gay Weston. There's a controller in the way of my crotch. Feels bad. I know why you're here, Tortilla. You just want to see the crotch, but I'm not allowing it. can't watch like this. It's okay, Spire. I understand, man. I appreciate you for being here at the beginning of the stream, though. Thanks for watching. Alright, so this portrait ghost here, Van Gore, he's actually the real reason behind all these normal ghosts that we've been fighting throughout the entire run. He's an artist, so basically everything that he paints, he can bring to life. So he's basically the reason behind all of this. So this guy is basically a area boss trapped in a portrait ghost body. I think he should be an area boss, just due to his story. So before we actually suck him up, we have to fight each of the basic ghosts that we've already fought before. So due to this boss ghost is the secondary antagonist of the game. The main antagonist being King Boo. So these ghosts are going to spawn in increments of 3. So you just want to get them right when they spawn because they're so bunched up together. And it just makes for a very easy boss fight. So for these grabbers are actually the hardest in my opinion. A very beginner-friendly strat that I would recommend is moving to the bottom of the room and turning around and capturing them. I do a lot faster strat there, but it's a lot more difficult to execute, so what I just did there was more beginner-friendly. So that I would recommend. Oh, I actually missed that triple there. Feels bad. Don't sweat it if you miss one of these guys. It's fine. You're not losing all the time in the world. Yo, I don't think I've explained poisonous mushrooms yet. So what that ghost just spawned is a poisonous mushroom. I tried to purposefully get hit by the mushroom, but what those mushrooms do is if you get hit by one, Luigi will turn completely mini, and you can't do anything for about 10 seconds. I guess the only good thing coming out of it is the high-pitched Mario call that Luigi does when you press A. Alright, so now that we've destroyed all this guy's creations, he's gonna become hella triggered. As you can see, he's like jacked up on some shit. So now we can just capture him. Alright, and that's the last portrait ghost that we get in the entire run. Now we just have one more Boo to get, and then we go to the final boss. Now this Boo here actually has 300 HP. So we're going to take off half of his health before we go for the second cycle. Hopefully we can get a 2 cycle, that's the most optimal. Now with most Boos, they can actually go anywhere throughout the mansion. They can go anywhere where there's a surrounding room. But one good thing with this Boo is he can only go in and out of Van Gore's room. So it doesn't matter how many times you fuck up on this Boo. He will never leave. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to get a 3 cycle, that's fine. Been freebasing PCP. RIP. Alright, so that's it. Again, we don't need all 50 Boos because we only need 40 for some reason for the no out of bounds category. And again, you want to save warp right after you capture Van Gore Boo because it saves a few seconds rather than going to the safari room and mirror warping. So always save warp there. Unless it's 100%. Do not do that in 100% because you have to get the gold diamond. Alright, so the final boss is actually located here in the basement. You have to go through this door here. Down this spiral hallway. Alright, we're nearing the end of this tutorial. I'll be doing more no out of bounds runs after this. Okay. So now you just have to mash through some text. So a good way to estimate what time you're going to get in this run is right when you enter the King Boo cutscene there, before you start mashing text, just add 2 minutes to that time, and if you get a 2 cycle on King Boo, that's what your final time is going to be. A fast 3 cycle loses 20 seconds, and a slow 3 cycle loses 30 seconds. So, King Boo has 500 health. Again, the most optimal being a 2 cycle. That's the best you can do on this guy. So we're actually going to do this entire boss fight without him moving at all. So he's going to stay in place the whole time. But do keep in mind that he has an invisible wall directly in front of him. So we need to shoot past this invisible wall. So I'm going to purposefully move over here. A good visual cue is this line that I am currently standing on. Because there's just enough room to hit the side of his face and you can avoid this invisible wall. Because if you hit the invisible wall, basically all that'll happen is your shot will be eaten and his head won't get blown off. So, again, stand exactly where I'm standing and just shoot. And then start our pumping when he gets low enough. As you can see, I got him down to 233. If you have to go for a 3 cycle, which you being a beginning runner, you probably will go for a 3 cycle. So keep in mind, always keep him above 200 HP if possible. So if you know he's gonna dip below 200 HP, stop sucking up on him, because he'll put his head on backwards and run around like a buffoon for an extra 10 seconds. And that's what we know as a slow 3 cycle. But I got him low enough to the point where I can go for a 2 cycle, so that's what I'm going to do here. Alright, and that is Luigi's Mansion. No out of bounds. So, this run is very beginner friendly. I would definitely recommend learning it if you have no idea of a game to speedrun. It's very easy to learn. Now, this game may not seem appeasing to viewers, but it is very fun. I think if viewers give this game a chance, they can definitely get hooked, for sure. Just due to the fact that there's, like, not a lot of cool tricks to show off. But it is a very fun run to do, so I would definitely recommend it. Congrats on world record. Yo, thanks. I worked hard on this one. English version, though, that doesn't matter. You can still run on English. English text is only 20 seconds slower. It's not bad. You can deal with a 20-second time loss if you're a beginning runner. Alright, I need to highlight the tutorial at the end of the stream. Yeah, it's 20 seconds for this category. It's like 25 to 30 for 100%. I think more along the lines of 30. Yeah, Switchmaster used English for a long time. But yeah, something I didn't mention, you split for the last time when you suck up King Boo for the last time. Timer ends on the suction of King Boo's crown. Keep that in mind. What does it save in rank percent? I have no clue. Probably like 2 minutes. But yeah, that's the tutorial. Now let's get back to runs. Alright, boys. Cam's over.
Oh, Mario? Mamma mia.
The show's over, boys.
Oh, 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 oh.
Alright, so I'm gonna take like a quick little 5-minute break while this cutscene's playing. But yeah, I will be right back, and we'll do more No Out of Bounds runs.